Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Code Realize, Guardian of Rebirth. I think we should be approaching the end sometime soon here of our first playthrough on it, and we are on the Impy path. So whether I get the good or bad ending, I'll be doing whichever one I didn't get right afterwards. And let's see, we're on the Nautilus at the moment, being chased by lots of people. And Cardi is not doing too well. So, let's jump right into things. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. I just hope I can keep going for a little while longer. I hope against all odds. I don't know how much time we spent after that. We hurry towards the center of the ship, while running from the Twilight Soldiers. Our previous experience on the Nautilus may be helping us here, as we don't run into too many of them. But what could Twilight's objective be in cooperating with Nemo? Finis is already dead, so who could be doing this, and for what? No, I guess it's no use thinking about it now. I shake my head at the thought, but just that small action causes me to get dizzy and I stagger. My condition is worsening at an alarming rate. It feels like the heat is gradually leaving my body. I can tell myself that my blood is not flowing evenly throughout my body.
I know you must be hurting, but just hold on. We're almost there.
I hear a distant explosion, and the ground shakes subtly. There must still be an intense battle going on outside. And just as Impy said, we're approaching the center of the fortress. I feel an overwhelming sense of pressure when I enter the room. It's a large, dome-like space. In the center of the room sits a huge cylindrical device stretching from the floor to the ceiling. A complicated maze of machines is attached to the device, making it look like a giant spider in its web. There is a light floating in the center of this machine. Could it be the horologium?
Yes, that shard of the horologium piece is powering this entire gigantic machine.
So, if we turn this device off, we can get the piece back.
Never! I can't let that happen!
Suddenly, an all too familiar voice echoes around us, followed by a thunderous slow clap.
Color me impressed! Congratulations on getting this far!
We turn around, and I despair at the sight below us. There stands Nemo, with a crowd of Twilight troops standing behind him.
You are a worthy rival, Impy Barbicade. Rejoice! You and Dr. Frankenstein are the only two that I have acknowledged as rivals. I'm super busy right now, do you mind? Not so fast! I can't have you destroying this work of art so easily.
Impy glares at Nemo as he inches closer to the device. However, Nemo sees him and chuckles.
Now, someone as smart as you would probably go after the gravity alleviator's weak spot. For example, by causing a powerful magnetic force that would disrupt the device. And perhaps launching the Nautilus right off the planet. But my genius surpasses yours. This device has already been protected by a magnetic shield.
Impy furrows his brow. That's why our device didn't work. Nemo is definitely not your average scientist. He knew exactly what we were up to. That's the reason why the device Impy bought didn't have any effect.
I'm giving you one chance to surrender. What'll it be?
Our device has been rendered useless, and Nemo is standing before us with a group of Twilight soldiers. I feel fear beginning to creep into my mind. But For some reason, Impy wears a confident smile. Impy, are you going to fight him?
I guess so. I don't really like fighting, but as your knight, I need to protect you. I am an amazing hero who protects the person he cares about with style. There's no way I can lose to the bad guy, you know?
Impy. Oh, what do I do? I think I'll step forward. I keep saying I'll protect him too, so that would be the thing to do, right? I step forward and take a fighting stance in front of Impy. No. I'll buy us some time. You focus on disabling the gravity alleviator.
Huh? Cardia?
Even as we stand here, the airborne knights are outside, fighting with all their might. The longer the device keeps working, the more casualties there will be. Impy's eyes are wide open, and I smile at him lightly. I told you before, I'm going to protect you too. I don't think they want to harm the Horologium either. I think I'll at least be able to distract them, so...
You don't understand. You don't understand at all.
Nemo cuts me off, his voice booming.
It's not difficult at all to shut you down without harming the Horologium. And to top it off, no matter how tough you talk, you're completely outnumbered. You won't be able to buy him a single second. You're foolish. That's what you are.
I already know all this, but I still have one of Lupin's smoke bombs and one of Victor's flash bombs. I can distract them at least a little. I continue to glare at Nemo when Impy pats me on the shoulder.
Cardia, you said something similar before. You know, when we were up against the Sky Pirates?
Impy, this is hardly the time.
You're ready to protect me no matter who you're up against, whether it be Sky Pirates or a massive enemy like this. That's why I'm going to tell you the same thing I told you then.
Impy steps out in front of me, smiling ear to ear.
That's what I love about you so much. So allow me to show off in front of the woman I love.
Impy silently glares at Nemo.
I applaud your gusto, but how will you overturn this situation?
Nemo signals with his hand, and all the Twilight soldiers draw their swords. Perhaps out of fear of harming the gravity alleviator, not a single one of them holds a gun. The soldiers' swords gleam, reflecting the lights inside the ship.
However, don't you think it's strange, Impy Barbicane? Huh? What's strange? I've looked in your past. Your circumstances are very similar to mine. Plagued by inequality, never acknowledged, never understood. Just continuously neglected. Isn't that right? So why, then? You have the same past as me. You have a mind as brilliant as mine. Why is it that you can't understand what I say? I guess you're right. Our circumstances are pretty similar.
Impy closes his eyes and falls silent, but neither Impy nor Nemo are the ones to break the silence. But he is different. It's me. Impy's different from you, Nemo. I shake my head and pull at the hem of his shirt. Impy pats me on the head, comforting me.
That's right, Nemo. There is a significant difference between the two of us. I was never alone. The old man was always beside me before. Now I have reliable friends who brought me this far. And the woman I love right beside me.
He grips my hand tight, then turns to face Nemo. His eyes carry a hint of pity as he stares at Nemo.
That's what sets us apart, Nemo. You're right. That definitely sets us apart. A genius is forced to live in absolute alienation. A seeker of solitude who is misunderstood by those so far behind them. The very fact that you have anyone who understands you means that you are merely a mediocrity.
How could he possibly say that in evidence of all the things that Impy has accomplished and done right in front of you? You already acknowledged him as a genius. How can you say that now?
Fine then, I guess that just means that you're about to lose to the work of a mediocre man.
Impy takes a small cylindrical object out of his pocket and points it towards Nemo. It's the magnet generator that didn't work earlier. But now, there seems to be some new part added to it.
You still intend to resist? How foolish of you! If you're a scientist, you should know. All it takes to overthrow what is known as established knowledge is a single successful breakthrough.
With a confident smile, he presses the button on the device in his hand. The device begins to make a strange noise, which gradually grows louder and higher pitched. A flash of light goes off, along with the sound of something bursting. But that's all. Nothing around us seems to change. What was that?
So, that's all you have up your sleeve? Just some bluff?
The corner of Impy's mouth ticks up in a smirk, and in the next instant, the Nautilus begins violently shaking. At the same time, things begin to happen in the room we're in. Steam bursts out from a number of places, and the entire room is thrown into discord.
What? What did you do? Impy Barbicane!
Without answering, Impy leaps, kicking off the wall and jumping forward. He plunges right into the center of the soldiers, who are in a surprised panic. He descends upon them like a storm, lashing out with fierce kicks to knock them down one after another. As the Twilight soldiers attack him with a vengeance, he turns their blows aside and cuts through them.
Man, I would love to see this animated. I would love to see this action of Impy doing all this stuff.
As he spins, he raises a huge wrench, catching a sword being swung his way and breaking it in two. Taken aback by this unexpected counterattack, the soldiers fall back to defensive positions.
What's the matter? You're a group of elites, aren't you? Are you scared?
He's strong. It's not just his superior physical capabilities inherent to vampires. He demonstrates a mastery of combat that even Van Helsing would have applauded had he been here.
Wow, where did he learn this?
He takes some minor wounds, but manages to defeat the majority of the soldiers. Impy backs off once again and comes back to me.
Ow! I was hoping I'd get out of this unharmed.
Impy, are you alright?
Totally fine. They're just scratches. Just a little bit longer. Just a little bit, alright, Cardia?
It's not until he says this that I realize how badly my condition has deteriorated, and I'm left speechless. My fingertips are ice cold and feel almost completely numb. There's probably not much time left before I turn into a lifeless doll.
This shaking! Could the Nautilus be ascending?
Nemo cradles his head, looking stunned.
Are you saying you took the limiter off the gravity alleviator? That's insane! Why did you do it? It's finally came through, Mr. Impy's original magnetic generator. Impossible! 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 It isn't possible to generate a magnetic field that powerful using a device that small. Or is that device another masterwork that surpasses the current boundaries of science? No, this is just a switch. The actual device has been scattered all over the Nautilus.
Oh, so is that what...
Yup, that modified cannon shot that hit the Nautilus. That was the actual device. No, the Nautilus! Yup, the Nautilus will fall into the sky. You've lost the battle, Nemo.
Nemo opens his eyes wide, then falls to his knees, as if hit by lightning. How can you tell that his eyes open wide behind those goggles? But...
My power, my dreams! Fall? They're going to fall? I won't let you, and be Barbicane.
He snaps back to his feet and screams to the remaining soldiers, his eyes bloodshot.
How can you tell that? Look at his face. Don't worry about harming the device. Use your guns. Shoot them. Shoot them. Ha! Your puny bullets aren't going to hit me.
Impy dashes towards the soldiers, faster than any bullet. He strikes one down, then another, with a pair of spinning kicks. At this point, Nemo shouts, foaming from his mouth.
No! The girl with the horologium! Target her!
The soldiers' guns suddenly turn towards me. I try to jump to the side, but my limbs are stiff as lead by now. Ugh. I can't avoid them. I hear the sound of gunfire. But the bullets that are meant for me hit Impy instead, who is now standing in front of me, shielding me. Impy! A river of blood escapes from his body and creates a puddle on the floor. He tries to reach back and embrace me, but Nemo approaches and grabs me by my shoulder. Let go!
Denied? As long as I have the infinite power of the horologium, I can still bring the world to its knees, even without the Nautilus.
Get off. I use what strength I have left to free myself from Nemo and glare at him. I'm not going to do what you say. I would much rather break the horologium right here.
That sounds good too. If it all came to an end with the horologium out of my reach, I wouldn't mind.
He's not bluffing. It's clear from his face that the man is serious.
Misunderstood by all, living a life of isolation. The power I finally achieved to make the world bow to me is being taken away as well. Why? Why did it happen?
Nemo curses and rails at the world. Tears of frustration stream down his cheeks.
Why do you stand in my way? Why won't anyone understand? Why? Nobody. Nobody.
Nemo.
Why? The answer is obvious.
Impy, how?
Impossible! How can you still be speaking after being shot so many times? Heh, I'm wearing a custom bulletproof vest that I made for Lupin. That red stuff was all fake blood. Oh, come on! I mean, it still hurt like hell.
Impy turns around and slowly starts walking towards Nemo.
It pretty much sounds like you were just lonely. All this talk about overwhelming power. You just wanted someone to appreciate you. You don't need to ride around in this dangerous toy to get something like that. Stay away! Remember this, science is not a tool to be used to hurt others. It's for flying, to go to the moon, to reach a future that we all have yet to see. It's a dream, to make the impossible possible. It's not some toy for a brat to wave about, having a fit because he wants attention.
Thoroughly intimidated by Impy, Nemo uses me as a shield and takes a few steps back. I no longer have the strength to move my body, and he drags me along like a puppet.
Stay back! Get your filthy hands off of her. I'm the only one allowed to touch her. I've been hiding a bomb this whole time. You don't want to set it off, do you?
Impy splashes through the puddle of fake blood he made and starts running. He takes down the few remaining Twilight soldiers on his way.
Ay! Stay back!
He tries to scamper away, using all his strength to throw the bomb he's holding at Impy. Impy!
What do you think of now? No matter what kind of high and mighty opinions you have, this should silence you.
How could you?
Once we have escaped the Nautilus, I must dig out your horologium. I said.
I hear him cut Nemo off, then he leaps off the floor from the other side of the flames, from the explosion.
Don't you touch her!
The man I love dashes through the flames and the smoke.
With your filthy hands!
Impy strikes Nemo with a powerful kick. Nemo is thrown back and slams into the wall, taking down all the machinery in his path with him. Impy, you need to watch out. Even with a vampire's strength, it must be difficult for him to remain standing right now.
This is nothing. More importantly...
Impy picks me up and runs towards the device as I am unable to move on my own at all now. Every time he touches the complicated control panel, the machinery at the core of the Nautilus creaks, as if in mortal agony. He frowns at the sounds and closes his eyes.
I'm sorry, Nautilus. The horologium isn't meant for you. It's for the miracle of science and for the people's dreams. It's to keep the person I care about most in all the world alive. So, I need it back.
He climbs up the machine, using the cables around him as footing. And when he thrusts his fist forward, he smashes into the device in an effort to take back the spark of my life.
Found it!
There seems to be some sort of force at work that pushes against everything. Impy doesn't back down and continues to push his hand forward, but the light burns and blisters his skin. His injuries gradually get worse and worse. Impy, that piece is still active. The poison in it is still working.
I don't care!
Pushing against the repulsive force, Impy forces his hand closer and closer to the shard. 10 centimeters. 5 centimeters. 1 centimeter.
Ah!
Impy grabs the horologium fragment. His hand burns, and an unpleasant greasy smoke rises from his skin.
I'm taking this back. It belongs to my girlfriend.
Impy kicks at the machine's exterior, pushing himself away from the device. Impy! I feel my body has already reached its limits, but I try to drag myself towards Impy, where he lies on the ground. I desperately cling to him as he lies there unmoving, but... in the next moment, unbelievable, he turns his head and smiles at me.
Cardia, this is a present from me.
The horologium in my chest and the shard in Impy's hand emit the same subtle glow. Impy stretches his hand towards me, as if presenting me with a flower. I accept his gift and carefully guide his hand to my chest. The horologium fragment floats in the air, breaking up into tiny particles of light and slowly merging with the horologium. The beauty of the scene makes me forget everything else that is going on. Slowly, ever so slowly, I can feel the strength returning to me. Well, you guys can't let it be too slow because the ship is like taking off into space now. I can keep living.
Of course.
And I can keep living by your side. Oh, don't die, Impy! Impy smiles slowly, then lies down as if he has lost his strength. Impy, are you all right?
I'm going to rest for a bit. That was tiring even for me.
As he closes his eyes, I squeeze him tightly in an embrace. He sees Impy embracing Cardia out of the corner of his eye. Nemo breathes heavily as he quietly raises himself from the floor.
It's not over yet.
As Nemo walks forward, he feels bone scraping against bone from where Impy kicked him earlier. A feeling surfaces in his fading consciousness, a helpless sense of powerlessness. When he was younger, he had been captured by enemy forces. He felt this powerless as he stood by, unable to do anything as his homeland was destroyed. Even though he continued to charge ahead with his research in search for the power of science, that powerlessness never went away.
I will never give up. The power of science is my path, my anchor, my foundation.
Impy and Cardia look up in surprise at his shout. Thinking back, this was probably bound to happen with Nemo's fierce intelligence. That's how he was able to create so much without even telling those in Twilight. If the Nautilus is going to be shot down, he can at least take everything else down with it in a huge blaze of destruction. That's what he wants. Nemo, what are you going to do?
Isn't it obvious? The power of the Nautilus, the power of science, my own worth. I'm going to carve it all into the history of England, of the world.
Nemo pulls a lever towards him. Suddenly, the entire Nautilus begins shaking.
Let the destruction begin.
Several explosions go off within the room. Did you just set the Nautilus to self-destruct?
That's right. I destroyed the device. If the repulsive field generator is destroyed, the ship has nowhere to go but down. Yes, straight towards Buckingham Palace.
How could you? The fortress lurches to the side. Nemo loses his balance and falls to the floor.
Master Isaac, watch me. I have attained a force more powerful than ever before.
Tears stream down Nemo's face. Up till now, Nemo has poured his life into a variety of experiments. He mobilized the Nautilus and threatened all of Britain. However, there is still a cold feeling that remains unsatisfied within him. He has never ever felt fulfilled. But here, finally, Nemo has realized what he is after. Another explosion, bigger than any of the others, goes off overhead. He looks upward and sees a huge piece of debris falling directly towards him. To him, it looks like a sign sent to him from the heavens. He smiles to himself. The last words that crossed his mind. I just wanted someone to... Nemo.
We don't have any time to be in shock.
Impy stands up slowly, his body still weak.
Like Nemo said earlier, this airship is going to fall. And to make matters worse, it's going to land smack dab into Buckingham Palace, where all the government VIPs are.
So Victoria Leonhardt and everyone else who stayed behind are all in danger. Impy, what should we do? What can we do? Impy looks at me, then grabs me by the shoulders and speaks with determination.
Cardia, listen carefully to what I'm about to say. The Nautilus has an escape pod.
No, we are not escaping without you, Impy. No.
You need to get out of this room right away and look for it.
What about you? What are you going to do?
I'm going to stay here and try to see if I can steer the ship away from the palace. There, what's with the long face? You look best with a smile, you know.
Impy pats me on the head as I look at him with doubtful eyes.
It's fine. I don't intend to die here. We need that escape pod to get out.
Impy thumps a fist against his chest. His face is the same as ever, grinning mischievously.
We don't have much time. We need to hurry.
Impy pushes me towards the door, and I... Oh, okay. Turns out I can actually save here. And whichever choice I make here makes the difference between the good ending and the bad ending, so that makes it very easy. Save there. Okay, so the video was way too long for one episode to cover both of the endings in, so I'm having to split this into 2 videos and having to film this outro inserted in some place that I have no idea where I'm going to be putting it, but it'll be in there and you'll see it, you know, whenever I figure out where to put it when I'm in editing. So I hope to see you in my future videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.